Firmament, that's the key word. If your Holy Bible does not have the word firmament, you're reading the wrong book. Some of them, like the New International Version, will say expanse or skies. If it does not say rakia, as True Christian said, or firmament, you are reading the wrong word.
Good morning, aloha from Florida. Let's talk about the Gleason's map for just a minute. I believe it is still the best representation of our observable objective reality. Here's the deal about the Gleason's map. The United Nations uses it for its logo, as well as several other government agencies. Why would they do that? Here's the deal about the Gleason's map. The flight patterns work perfect on it, and allegedly inside of the autopilots for aircraft, they are programmed with the Gleason's map. Here's the thing, or the deal with the Gleason's map. The undersea cables make perfect sense on the Gleason's map. The flight paths and the undersea cables don't make any sense on a globe if you go look at them. So I will stand firm and say that the Gleason's map is still the best we have. And for the few of you who want to say, well, didn't they just see a 24-hour sun in Antarctica and the Gleason's map says there is no 24-hour sun? Yes. And I will stand on the Gleason's map before I even think about trusting a bunch of YouTube shills that are propped up by the algorithms fighting against flat earth for the last several years, getting paid for their clicks. You really want to believe that YouTube shills went to Antarctica and got a 24-hour sun on video when there's no government agency that has ever recorded a 24-hour sun in Antarctica, and there's government bases down there for over 100 years, some of them? You really want to believe that YouTube shills got a 24-hour sun recorded in 2024 as flat earth is exploding, and there's no 24-hour sun videos from any university or any scientist or any astrophysicist? There's a few random ones starting, I think, around the year 2017, but no 24-hour sun videos from 2010 or 2005 or the 1990s. There's no other 24-hour sun videos in Antarctica, but we're supposed to believe that YouTube shills got a video of a 24-hour sun in Antarctica in 2024. That defies all reason, all logic, all common sense. I will stand on the Gleason's map and say firmly there is no 24-hour sun in Antarctica. Now, I am 90% sure whatever the TFE sun or light that they filmed going across the sky is fake. On the rare chance that it is real, then we will figure that out. But you can't point to a light in the ceiling and deny all of the observable objective reality of the terra firma underneath our feet. The physics of water is to be level on its surface and need a container. This one truth alone destroys the entire heliocentric hypothesis. And then you move to the land. There are huge land masses above the oceans and the abyssal plains beneath the oceans that are observed and measured flat, which cannot work on a globe. They cannot exist on a sphere of said proportions. So the land and many huge land masses debunk the idea or the lie that the earth is a globe. This battle that I find myself in, and some of you are right there with me standing side by side, is a battle between the geocentric truth and the heliocentric lie, and everything that goes along with each one. The geocentric truth is that this is an intelligently designed system and you were created on purpose for a purpose, and you have to seek and find that for yourself. No one else can tell you what that is. The heliocentric lie is that this is a random explosion of nothing. And there is no moral absolute, there is no meaning or purpose to life, and the Big Bang gave birth to the globe. The globe is the baby of the Big Bang. And then you have dinosaurs and evolution, and you have atheism. Life has no meaning or purpose. That's the heliocentric lie. I'll stand on the geocentric truth. You can do whatever you want, you can believe whatever you want, but if you will learn to trust your own eyes, you will see the earth is flat. If you will trust your own senses, you will feel the earth is stationary. So go check out our documentary by Vika Drazev, Truth in Plain Sight on YouTube. The documentary is called The Mechanical Realm, about the Antikythera mechanism.
Sundogs are undeniable evidence that we live under God's dome, and I am going to prove it. Now, first of all, you need to understand how the sun moves on the flat earth model. This is the Gleason's map, the real map of the world. A map that is both scientifically and practically correct. Now, this is how the sun rotates around our flat, stationary, non-rotating Earth. And in the bottom right corner of the map, you'll see the June solstice while the sun is rotating more towards the North Pole. This is when we experience summer, and this is exactly what that would look like. Now, during the winter months, the sun rotates more south, and this is exactly what that looks like. This is the definition of science, something that is observable, measurable, and repeatable. Now, sundogs only happen in the winter. Now, let's pretend that the flame is the sun, and this is the dome or the firmament that's been mentioned hundreds of times in the Bible, the Quran, our ancient ancestors mentioned it in religious texts, and so on and so forth. And we're going to show you when the sun moves towards the south, it creates the sundog. As the flame is moved closer to the dome, there's the sundogs. Does that look familiar to you guys? Quite literally, all of our ancestors try to tell us that we live under God's firmament. And you mindless zombies literally believe what NASA puts out. Research the flat earth and the firmament. You have been lied to your whole entire life.
What difference does it make if you live on a spinning rocket ball hurling through the galaxy at 400,000 miles an hour, or you live on a stationary plane? What difference does it make? Are you kidding me? If they can convince you of this.
So let's make that science project today, and then we'll even talk about the luminaries. Okay, so here is our science project. We've got the 4 angels on each corner. We have the cross at the top. We have our moon and our sun. We have the flat earth. We have the ice wall. And you know, if you know me at all, I'm a little extra. We added some glitter to that. And then we have some clouds just to make it look pretty. So first I ordered the standard map and cut it out. And then I glued it to just a canvas. And then we got some foam and then added the extra little glitter to make it look more like ice, if you can see that up close. So we ordered the crystal angels because, I mean, I'm a pageant girl, so I want everything to sparkle. And then we have our lights that are battery operated, and then they just sit on it. So they are glowing at each corner because the angels sit on the 4 corners of the earth. So for the firmament, I ordered just a dome that goes into your fence for your animals to be able to look out of. They have little holes here for them to breathe, and it fit perfectly. I mean, look at that. It just fit just perfectly around the circle. And then I even added the stars because the stars are in our firmament. That's why they look like they're in water, because the water below and the water above. And then we have the moon and the sun, which I painted. We have this just connected with wire. These are the little lights I ordered off of Amazon to put in the sun and the moon. One is a warm light, one is a cool light. Of course, our sun now isn't warm anymore. It's cool, just like the moon. But so here's the little tiny light that went inside the sun and the moon. This is the cool light that went in the moon, and then I also have a warm. And then to finish it off, I ordered, it's just the light that goes on top, so you have the northern lights shining from heaven. Okay, what do you guys think?
I hate to say in times like these, I told you so, but I did tell you so. When TikTok went dark, we weren't banned. We were transitioning. And I was sent a video of proof, and now I'm going to show you. All right, you're going to go into your app and click the 3 bars at the top, then click settings, and then you're going to scroll all the way down until you go to terms and policies, and then you're going to go open source software. Took forever to download. Anyway, you're going to scroll, and this part I'm going to fast forward to because it took me a second to find it. Once you scroll all the way down to the bottom, you are going to run into BSD 3 clause, new or revised license. Read this. What do you guys see? Copyright 2015 Facebook, all rights reserved. A lot of people said that they were going to delete TikTok if Meta was the one running it now. I kind of don't know what to think, and I don't really care because I suspected it way prior. But I think this is a sure sign that Facebook, Meta, is the one who bought TikTok.
If Elon Musk wanted to fake a Mars landing,
he could totally do it in this place.
here, or here, or here. I mean, am I right?
Hey, let's talk about rivers again on a globe model or flat earth. I've gotten countless questions for years on talking about this. Rivers are going north on a globe. This uphill. And I always get, north is it up, north is it up. You know what? You're right. Rivers flowing north like the Nile River on something like this. It's not up, going towards the north. But when it comes to here, it's up. This is just a regular map. Every map that you purchase from anywhere has what's called a compass rose, which tells us which way north is. So when you're looking at this right here, north is towards the top of the map, south is to the bottom of the map, east and west are to the left and the right. Here on this map, we have Africa, and then we have Egypt and Iran and Syria. They're right up here. Then the east and Israel. This is the Nile River, and the Nile River goes north. It's going this way, which is north. And again, I want to stress, the only time north is going uphill. Take this map here and you wrap it around this ball. Ta-da! Now we've got Egypt right over here, Iran, Syria, and now, magically, 4,000 miles of water are going uphill, because it's always an up or a down on a ball. The system, the control system, will tell you that it's not going up. Damage control, it's gobbledygook. If you want to be intellectually honest with yourself, and you take any type of ball, doesn't soccer ball, tennis ball, over ball, blue marble, any type of ball, no matter how big the ball gets, there is still an up and a down in the story. And water cannot flow uphill. For those of you that don't say there's an uphill on a ball, there is an up on every ball, and you know it. If you're being intellectually honest, Nile River going north makes sense here, because there is no uphill for it to climb, like on this magical globe that they call the blue wonderful marble, spinning through space infinity, and there we go. That's the whole point. We don't live here, we live here. When you lay it flat, it's going in, which is north towards the North Pole. Above the North Pole is the star Polaris that the wise men followed to Egypt as it was right over their head. The North Star Polaris has been in the same position. And how can the North Star be in the same position? If we're doing this around the sun, and then the galaxy is doing this, how can all of our constellations come back every month, every year, to the same fixed locations, give or take a few degrees? Because we're not doing this, guys. There is no way that you could have billions of stars and a globe spinning 1,014 miles an hour at the equator and then have the same constellations. Because if this is the sun and we're over here, or in November, right? We see these stars, right? We see all these stars, right? But then we're going to come around here in April. How come we're still seeing the same stars? We're on the other side of the sun, which is supposedly in this one, billions and billions of miles away on the other side. How are we seeing the same constellations? You have to do cartwheels in your head. You have to twist yourself into a pretzel to make sense of anything that they talk about. It's funny, because it takes a lot of faith and a lot of belief to believe in men that wrote stuff in books. I always hear that about the Bible. Well, the thing about the Bible, folks, is it's divinely inspired. And it talks about this right in chapter 1, verse 6. And remember, folks, that this doesn't contradict anything that we can see, feel, or touch. What I mean by that is, do you feel like you're moving right now? Do you feel like you're spinning? Or do you feel like you're not moving at all? They have brainwashed everyone. They have gotten so inculcated in believing what they're dishing out that you would deny your own senses. Genesis 1:6 talks about the firmament. This is the firmament. This is where the sun and the moon reside. They reside in the firmament. They're not 93 million miles away, 248,000 miles away between the moon and 93 million miles between the sun. No, they are close to us in this construct called the firmament. This is where you live. The firmament, the sun, the moon, the stars are right here. The third heaven, God, Yahweh, sits right up here looking down on us until Yeshua comes back for the final time at the Battle of Armageddon.
If you are a flat earther, or in the flat earth, or following flat earthers, I'm just telling you, I've been in this for 10 years. It's going nowhere. Again, if you want to remain here for 10 years and get nowhere, you're in the right spot. Just be a flat earther. You will get nowhere. You will accomplish nothing. You'll lose more friends. You'll lose more family. The stupidity of flat earthers is astounding. Nobody believes anything. You don't have to believe anything when you're a flat earther. You don't have to believe anything because you don't have a model. You don't have a map. You just kind of just go through it, and if something comes up that doesn't match our worldview, we just kind of say it was fake and move on to the next thing and say, water lies flat. I cannot associate myself with these people or consider them smart ever again. I don't want to be called a flat earther. I don't want to be associated with people who can't see reality in front of them. Every single person that I used to think was a good researcher, from Level Earth Observer to Plain Truth, to Don't Sphere the Truth, to Eric Dubay, to you name it. They all turned out to be trash.
Is this symbolism right here? This IMDb actor right here? This guy? Well, let's see what he has to say about Jesus Christ, shall we? And this is what an IMDb actor is.
Specifically here, in their disdain for Jesus Christ, make no mistake about it, They are all antichrist at work here, presenting themselves as truthers. Let's take a look.
I don't believe in Christianity. Jesus Christ can suck my.
When the book of the law is studied, it can be seen to be a set of ciphers and riddles meant to conceal the lost words of the Temple of Solomon, which Crowley claimed to have discovered while researching the Zohar and Freemasonry. So in my mind, anyone who dismisses reading any of his work is not really looking for the truth.
So you just heard there.
Really, Jaron, what can Jesus Christ do to you? And what do you feel about Aleister Crowley, the known Satanist? And this is what he calls flat earthers. This is someone who, for the past decade or more, claimed he was a flat earther and sucked money from people left and right. Not only was he in the Behind the Curve mockumentary, but they used his experiment. I'm sure it's just a coincidence though, right? And here they all are shirtless in Antarctica. But let's go see how you're supposed to be dressing in Antarctica. So during the summer months, you're supposed to wear long woolen underwear, trousers, and a shirt with a windproof layer on top. In winter, they wore lots of layers topped with thick quilted freezer suits. Yeah, that looks about right. None of them are wearing gloves. Well, I'm sorry, maybe the guy at the very end. But half of them are shirtless. They're all wearing t-shirts. Lovely. And what did Jaron say about Duffy? That he's a stand-up guy, right? Oh, Duffy's a good guy. This is a guy who's a pastor who's on record saying that lying is okay. Well, this is Will Duffy's logo. Does that look familiar to you? How about now? That looks better. Well, let's flip it upside down. Baphomet. That's right. Now let's go look at his church. This creepy looking building right here with hardly any windows in it. Yep, that's a Freemasonic building if I've ever seen one. Brick buildings, no windows. Because we're going to take your word for it, right? Maybe Duffy just forgot. More. And more. You might want to pause to read these. Will Duffy is a financial advisor. He is not a scientist. In fact, it looks like he's in the middle of a lawsuit. So somebody who studies the globe has these 4 fields of study, and Duffy has none of those. Just because somebody is put in your face and is given a platform does not mean that you need to trust them. These people are wolves in sheep's clothing. You must use discernment when dealing with these people. Do not trust them.
The Flat Earth map dates back over 1,000 years. This map is credited to being created by a Persian astronomer. His name was Al-Biruni, and he lived between 973 AD to 1048 AD. It's the official map of the United Nations and also the United States Geological Survey. It used to be present in many places before the creation of NASA and the Antarctic Treaty in 1959. Here you see it with Admiral Byrd. This map has been restored by Dmitry from Russia with suggestions of mine, Idialenkar. Known by my YouTube channel Flat Earth Banjo, I asked Dmitry to include the Bermuda Triangle and Point Nemo, a place deep in the Pacific where NASA buries rockets. Then Robert Tozzi, a professional mapmaker, came along and enhanced the map even more. There are many people now selling this map online, but if you could order it from my online store, I would greatly appreciate it. Visit my online store now and order one of the items. I humbly thank you.